We originally built a water park that was very heavily themed back in 2001, and it has grown in popularity and become fairly successful. We decided that in order to bring more tourism to the area, we needed to go big or go home, and felt that a dry park would be a really good complement to that water park. The original idea for the park was to build on the water park theme, and so we first thought about doing different islands in the South Pacific. The reason we went away from that idea was we are a family of white people in the middle of Iowa, and concerns about cultural appropriation were very real. And so we tabled that idea and then thought about, well, what about lost continents and legends around the world? And other than Atlantis, all of the other ones that we came across have a little bit of a sordid past that we didn't want that negative connotation coming into the mix either. And so we finally decided, you know what, we're just gonna make this all up ourselves from scratch. Nobody has copyright over the elements, and so all we did was use that as a base and then build from there. We still had to create all of that backstory to inform our design decisions so that the park was cohesive and it wasn't, well, this is cowboy land and then this is Vikings, and it doesn't make any sense why they go together. A water park visitor is fine with coming in day after day and hanging out by the pool and looking at palm trees, but a dry park visitor is much more goal-oriented, and so in order to keep them here, we needed to have more than just rides. And especially a new park, we do not have an unlimited budget, and creating a themed environment is a much more economical way of creating an immersive experience than trying to build the tallest, fastest, longest roller coaster and nothing else. We basically would have been able to build 3 roller coasters in a parking lot, or this one. So the whole park has a continuous storyline to it, and you can go through and learn the history and the goal of the park, which is to save the island from a terrible evil. But you don't need to know any of that to enjoy the park. You can just appreciate the surroundings and some of the pretty cool rides that we have here. Our signature dark ride, Volkanu Quest for the Golden Idol, was developed by Sally Dark Rides. We had known them for many years, meeting them in IAPA, and everybody always sees their animatronic in their booth that looks like a real person that waves at you, and sometimes you accidentally wave back before you realize it's a robot. We, about 10 years ago, said to them, if we ever build a dry park, you have to be there. They had a concept called Forbidden Island that was all of the island movie tropes. We had pygmies and dinosaurs and lava, and it culminated in a volcano. And once we got this park going, we said, you remember that Forbidden Island concept? We want to use just the volcano and build that out so that it matches the rest of our storyline. So the design process was totally collaborative with them. What they came up with for us is totally worthy of the golden ticket and brass ring awards that we got, because it is a one-of-a-kind, state-of-the-art ride that people do not expect to find here in the middle of Iowa. And that is our whole goal with both of our properties, is to exceed people's expectations. They don't expect there to be anything cool in Iowa, and we're trying to change that. The 2 roller coasters we have here at Lost Island are both refurbished rides from other parks. The first one that we acquired was Napuko, which is formerly from Ratanga Junction, South Africa. That was dismantled and sent to the Netherlands to be refurbished before it was sent over here in 80 shipping container loads. The other ride is an intimate launch coaster, Matugani, that is originally from Leesburg, Sweden. That was the second acquisition we made, and we were really lucky to get that because we purchased it basically right after they took it down, and we found out after the fact that it was a beloved coaster in Sweden, and people were really excited to find out where it went. And the coaster community is honestly a group of people that we had no idea existed until we bought that ride, because we had at least half a dozen people contact the water park social media page wanting to know when we were going to be building this roller coaster at the water park. And we had not told a soul that we had made this purchase. But the coaster community, you guys are really good detectives and found out all of the background information and knew that it was coming here. And we had to downplay it because at that point, we truly did not know that we were even going to go forward with this project. The two coasters are rides that you cannot find at any park within a 4-hour driving radius of Waterloo. And we tried to do that with a lot of the other family rides as well. We have Gerschler Skyfly. There's only one other one in the Midwest. We really tried to hit all of the thrill levels so we could appeal to the broadest sectors, I guess, of the market as we could. The attractions are only part of the experience. The rest of the park is really about the immersion and trying to take people to another place. And so even though we have rides like Shot and Drop Tower that you can find at almost any other park in the world, ours has a themed queue that tells you the story and gives you something interesting to look at least while you're walking through it. And then there's a pretty cool pre-show that explains what you're going to be doing. So it isn't just a tower in the middle, again, of a parking lot. We opened last year, and as with most construction projects that went on during COVID, we had a few delays. It was difficult to get the message out that, hey, we're opening on June 18th, because we literally did not know that until June 17th, because we were kicking contractors out, like sweeping the deck and making sure the concrete was dry as guests were coming in on the 18th. We didn't have an opportunity to train operators on all of the rides because of construction. The rest of the summer, what everyone heard was, not all the rides are running, they're not open, they're not ready. I'm gonna wait a year. And so attendance last year was extremely soft. And that was okay for us because we've never built a theme park before, and there were a lot of kinks to work out, and just learning all of these rides because they all have different operating systems. The challenge that we had this year was we spent a lot of our budget on cost overages during construction, that trying to blanket the Midwest with messaging that we are open and you should come and see us has been hard. We have seen more than double our attendance this year versus last year. The water park is over 20 years old now, and it started with very similar beginnings. We opened that facility late, and over the years we have continually added rides to that facility, and now it is consistently ranked as one of USA Today's best water parks in the country. Once we're up on our feet and have the ability to add additional rides, we have room for expansion, not only with the amusement attractions, but with the theming elements as well. Potentially another dark ride and other ways to make people feel like they are somewhere that is not Iowa, are on our wish list. We just need more people to visit us in order to be able to afford it. We're family owned, so we don't have some corporate overlords telling us what to do. We designed this park because it's somewhere that we want to hang out. We are all out here every day making sure that the park runs the way that it's supposed to. If you try to find a comparable experience anywhere else in the country, you're going to be paying more and traveling further. Make it more than an amusement park, because we are more than an amusement park. We are a theme park. We are Orlando come to the Midwest.